So what we got for you here today is a pretty standard maze. It is nice that this is a mortar and not a shock blaster. That really saves the first hit a lot of work. These rocket launchers aren't standard here, but as you can see, they don't really affect anything because you gotta shock those lasers anyways. The only thing that it affects is you need to shock them when you're going after these top shields, as well as the shields on the right. A two-smoke landing here. Can get these pretty low on the beach. The way you drop on maze, often spark will peak a little bit, but that's fine. Sometimes you'll see this SB fall first, and if that happens, you need to get your smoke out early, so the girls that spread towards these rocket launchers over here will not get in range of those rocket launchers and get torched. So you mark the 1RL as that is the one that most of the, looks like his girls were probably safe, but that's the sketchiest one. He does a three-way shock right here on these three laser beams, tough shock, and he allows that shock blaster just to pick him off. It's just not worth his time. Sometimes you'll hack the 1RL that was marked. You flare up right to the left and another three smokes. You see he marks one there. He then flares the shock blaster as he's in the safe zone of the two RLs, then he hits hack. You'll see he marks a second one, and that's so his second hack gets off. It's going to hit the one he wants. From there, you let the cannons and the towers do their work on those rocket launchers. The Zookas clear that last one, and you race out of there. Got hit by a laser, which is a bigger deal if this is a shock blaster. So what you're going to see here is he's going to farm a couple cells, throw a critter pack up in there after that mortar, allowing time for the critters to go after that mortar, and from there he's going to start clearing. You want to be careful to use a good GBE ratio. If you've used a lot to clear mines, it's not worth the cells to eat more. So he figured it's time to kill the troops. The attack was over anyways, but that sniper tower was not very important. He just didn't want to eat any more cells. Second hit was done by King Dragba. That first one was Kimcast, if I didn't mention. Right here, you're going to need one smoke on the landing. He was cutting that real close. I like to do it a little bit more to the left because you just, from experience, you know that really you just need to cover one boat in the hero. So try to be conservative on that smoke. He's going to walk up here, and then he's going to flare over to that corner, eat a couple cells. What I like about flaring over to this corner is then when you flare up to the left of this boom cannon here, you'll get the girls to walk in a nice straight line as they wrap the corner. That was a real risky smoke right there, especially considering the next one could have overlapped quite a bit, but he's a pro. What can you say? From here, you flare right to the left, or I've also seen right on top of that, right to the top where those damaged girls are right now. I've seen that very often. Capone likes to do it that way. You want to make sure that the smokes are getting into the middle of the shield generators because girls are going to spread that way, and then you flare one of the far ones. Your flare timing here is as soon as you see a flare land, you send the next flare, and the second flare should go out as soon as you see the smoke disappear. So that was really well done. Clear a couple more mines down here for the next hitter. Always on these harder maps, setting up for the next hitter is important. Clearing mines right there. He threw it, as you can see, kind of towards the bottom, so you'd get the mines down here, which can pick girls off. So that was beautiful job by King Dragba. The next hit is Plink. He's going to go after the right shields. We must have sabotaged that shock blaster there, so that was awesome. Saved some smoke. Didn't really have any mines to clear, but there was a lot of shocks on this left side, so he decided to farm some cells since we had them. Letting the girls die, it's only a 227, so you don't need all 8 boats. The first flare should be, I like to get it a little bit to the left of that one, just because sometimes you'll see the girls get caught up on that barbed wire to the right. But his flare timing up to the top was so perfect that didn't matter. It's important to clear the mines in the area right to the left of this first shield gen. As girls will spread, you flare the second shield gen first always, then you flare the close one, and then finally the far one, and that's when the girls are going to spread into that opening. Shocks out. As you can see, I had a bunch of them, and this is the same flare timing as what I was talking about up top. As soon as the smoke's gone, you flare the next one. As soon as you see the flare land, you flare the next one. And in this case, it's more important to clear mines than it is to take those shield gens. He was able to get them anyways. I always figure a little bit of extra GBE. Oh, but he had enough for a critter, so it really left very little mines left, depending on if Supercell decided to accept those critters, which it did. So again, this is a little bit more conservative smoke, which I love. This is Fog here, going in for the maze kill. 6-4, lower health, perfectly fine. 1.4, 1.6 brand new, so a 6-4 has plenty of damage, and it's not brand new, as you can see. By the time he goes in 74 or more, he must accidentally sent a flare. So there's already a substantial amount out on the core. There's no anchor there. I would have probably not eaten as many cells and left an anchor just so that the girls can tied up in a bunch back there. It's always important to flare to the left of these flames. Let your girls catch up. Make sure you're in a nice clump for when you go through that barbed wire, as they're going to get spread there. If they're already spread out going through that barbed wire, you're going to peek. 2 smoke can do 1, but it is very tricky. And from here, you get the shocks out around 10 o'clock, and you let the girls have it. Boom. I'll post some photos of shock points for the different hits along with this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to message me at DannyBoyBB. Can be found in a lot of different places. But this is, again, another AZ tutorial video brought to you by the guys in 2.5. Thanks, guys.